All right, welcome back to. I guess this is so smart. I mean, I don't know. In the last message, I was talking about how I wanted to make sure that I did more parts of me, and you guys kind of just got to deal with it. And if you want to, but the idea is I can't stay in one job location, so I gotta like bounce around. And so the same thing with the creative aspects of myself. So here's teacher me of all the things that I normally talk about, and I just want to show in a new point of view. So this point of view is, well, this song is called Black Boy Fly, Origami Beats. But what we want to talk about here is why we need to have balance between two different perspectives. So perspectives comes in two different waves. These two different waves, WAVES, two different waves oscillate at a frequency that keeps things separate or keeps things together. This is like a flame, or this is like water, versus the other side, which would be like um, air. Well, sorry, earth and water, air and fire. So, because of this, we can just consider them to be two parts. You know, I got this kind of coin, that kind of coin, but I still got coins. Here's an American coin, here's a Canadian coin. There's ways where we can continuously divide up these two categories of things. Now, the manifestation of these things happens in the sense of what we call energy. Energy comes in two forms, masculine and feminine. So if we have energy, energy is going to be in the center. Can't see a damn thing. Wait, I got a backup plan. Oh yeah, you see these right here? These right here is quite special to me. These right here was given to me by my little Miss Gigi. And yeah, it's been like almost 3 years, and I still got these because again, oh, it's almost 2 years, so I hope she's doing well. But her and her grandmother were amazing people to me. So
Hey, Bill. Crypto wasn't for him.
that's a lot better.
The drywall screws.
So we got. Oh, this beat is called Origami Beats. It goes hard. I'm gonna have to put this on the big one. Put this on the motherfucking stereo. Because I got this, I'm gonna just take my time. I'm gonna do a little bit different now. So, we got masculine. Masculine energy is supposed to come through as a square, you know, with more corners, but you got other ways to make shapes or optical illusions or curves. But in the sense, so what I'm doing right now is I'm showing you the manifestations. I'm writing down the manifestation of how these energies proliferate. And even though they're one thing, they're going to have different varieties. So here, that's why I try to put this fucking thing up. Maybe if I do this, it'll get better. Got better. Alright. So the masculine energy, as we see over here, it comes in simple ways. We got plus, then we got multiplication. Then you got this variety of patterns or like a set. And then over here, you want to leave empty space, but what is a new thing that we can do all together with this? We can repeat this process. But when we repeat this process, we don't know which one is going to repeat. So we have to repeat a multitude of processes all at once. What that does, it allows you to create internals. And this creates what we call change. I have this core. I'm going to put it in a different color, buddy. You got colors, buddy. It creates this core here, and then this one here. Those two different things happened after we get our experience. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. This perspective, this evolving perspective then comes back, and after it goes back to 4, it turns into what we call the number 5. But the 5 is just the 1 or 5.1 or a new version of next. It's still 5. But in this world of 5, we just return back into this additional rudimentary or basic way of taking action. In other words, I'm a rookie again. I start new, I get some experience, I start being creative, I'm an expert. You gotta look in between the lines, and then I start something new, and then I'm a novice again, and then I get some experience, and I start getting some good, and then I'm an expert, and then I'm a novice again. That's the energy of the masculine. Alright. So, the other kind of energy that we have in this world is called a feminine energy. Feminine. Feminine energy, I want you to take note of this word here, 9. And so the feminine energy operates as a masculine energy plus a feminine energy. But the dominant aspect of the feminine energy is the idea of relation of self. So a lot of people see this as the feminine energy. This is the traditional aspect of the feminine energy. But the feminine energy, this 9 aspect, or what we call a tangent. So because of that, this is your tangent point right there, right? But that is a point of a circle that is extending across a line. In other words, this will be, from a biological standpoint, the mitochondrial DNA. The mitochondrial DNA is the DNA that women possess, and inside of there holds what we call the Eve gene. So this gene extends beyond. And so then when you try to look at this idea of what we call a circle, there's a few ways where you can consider the circle. You can see it as layers. You see the layers? This look like random dots, but they're layered in a circle. But again, because it looks randomized and you don't understand the processes behind it, again, you don't know how I feel. Again, you don't see the layers. But the men, they understand layers, but they can't see it because it looks all the same. And then it looks randomized. It just looks like there's dots all over this place.
Skin Health Plan is for people with Medicare and has been keeping seniors healthy.
If you didn't watch me go into those concentric circles, you wouldn't have understood what I did. And you would be like, nigga, it's just dots. But then guess what? I can start to do here's another aspect of the film. The masculine just does one thing different ways. I'm going to do the same thing, then I'm going to do it again, then I'm going to do it better, then I'm going to do it the best, then I'm going to do some new shit, then I'm going to do some new shit again, then I'm going to do it again, and then I'm going to redo it again, and then I'm going to keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. As I continue on this pathway of me doing things, it's going to allow me to see slight differences in details. Then I can create and have new perspectives. And now this is called wisdom, strategy, planning, vision. The light shit, things you can see. But over here, you can't see it. You gotta know. I gotta know that I went into concentric circles instead of just randomized dots. But then I also know that I can not even do dots, and I can create sections. So now I can compartmentalize different parts. And look, this is random, but it doesn't look random. It looks pretty structured. Looks like I'm filling in these spaces. All kind of emotions is coming in and filling in these spaces. But now, this space don't give a fuck about this space. In this space, don't give a fuck about this space. And then this motherfucker is coming in here like, hey, let's all talk together, all of these together. And then some other motherfucker come in and be like, I'm leaving. I'm out of here. I'm going to go hang out with the boys. So this feminine energy is presenting itself as the ability to be what we call variance or variability. Even if I'm across a tangent line, going on into infinity, at no point in time will this thing ever stay the same. So this is the constant flux rate in the universe. I want you to understand it as feminine energy. What is the energy now that we're talking about that's feminine? Well, let's get into these details, not like a man would, but details as if a woman would. We gotta understand, just like I did this shit don't make no sense to me. I just know it. And it's because I've seen it happen a lot of different times. I don't understand this. I'm sure a woman be like, yeah, that makes logical sense, and I be feeling like what he's describing, but I don't know what the fucking feel. I didn't even consider this other stuff over here. That is a man's point of view. As a man trying to teach you about feminine energy, I don't know how to get over here. But women can come over here and talk to the men like men. Not many men can come over here and do this. The reason why I can is because I've done enough of these laps over here to where I started realizing, oh, there's a little something outside of this. Oh, when you get a woman's point of view, shit changes. And that's what is happening. So when you taking on a new damn it. I was in there. When you taking in a new variation or variance, oh, I'm not going to do what I do. I'm not going to do it the way my coaches did it. I'm going to just find something completely new. Hey, daughter, come here. What do you think about this? Oh, you think this? I can see that. Why? Because you like the way the butterflies fly around and how they go from flower to flower. What the fuck does that have to do with what I'm talking about? Alright, whatever. And then guess what? That shit makes sense to me at some point in time, and then boom, something wonderful happens, and I'm like, damn, baby girl, you really helped daddy out. I still don't know what the fuck she was talking about, butterflies flying from flower to flower, nigga, like what? But I know something about butterflies helped me understand the equilibrium between balance and symmetry. And so boom, I did some shit, got some shit, benefited. Baby girl, let's go get some ice cream. Still doesn't help me understand the parts that I didn't consider. As a man, I can only identify parts or categories or groups. Women, they don't. And for a woman to decide things, it's hard to understand which decision is being made because parts of them or parts of feminine energy acts independently. So, how does these two things come together? Well, masculine energy and feminine energy comes together as energy in motion, energy enacted, energy applied. This is how we understand the differences. It's not this one doing shit and this one not doing shit. No, this one does and don't. This one does and don't. But what we have to understand is how do they do together? This is a lot easier than what most people understand. Yeah, I just do me. Yeah, I'm just feeling free. Yeah, I'm just coming cool. Cool as I ever been. Cool as I ever want. Cool as I ever need. Cool as I ever do. Cool as I ever seen. So, I know I just went a little crazy, but that's the whole thing. This is what I'm talking about when they're in commentary. I don't know what I'm doing, but I do. I feel like I should do this, but I don't know why. This here is the energy of a child, or a scaled down version of two larger energies in one. If I'm scaled down, that means I have to have more space to build up. Computer chips get smaller, the capacity gets bigger. The chip gets smaller, capacity gets bigger. Old people shrink. Motherfuckers still got wisdom.
And substance.
And with age, wisdom grows even if it's not applied in a applicational state. They know what it feels like to be 75, nigga, and you don't. They know more than you. But anyways, looking at this, there's lots of ways that we can see this, but this is space. So as I have these variations between all these different sections, as a person who needs to understand these 9 spaces, you gotta first see this as the main key. When you understand that this is the key, then you realize that everything around you is also the key. What does this do? Well, now it creates a layer on the outside of you, but now we have to have a bi-layer or a 2-layer. A layer to help me understand me versus the me on the outside. What does that mean? Look on the inside. From this square, you got a whole world outside of you with all of these variations, colors, spaces filled, spaces not, colors being on, off, things the same, shaded in, not shaded. I got all of these boundaries. I got so much going on. And then I can even start to introduce divisions, cross sections, understandings, routine, rationalizations. I can start to do things to help me see differences. And when I can start seeing these differences, then I can start seeing myself see more differences. Notice, in this square, that looks like this square and that square, outside of the changes on the external, I made this with a specific structure. I made multiplications across all of these spaces, but it just looks like this when I was just doing random fucking lines. What this shows you is that people can do random shit and get similar outcomes. People can do strategic things and get the same outcomes. What matters is, where is it happening? Over here it was random, over here it was intentional, over here it was random plus, and over here it was strategic and organized. Specific. Again, this is the childlike energy that we use and call creation. This is what creation is. This here looks sporadic, but if you've been listening to this micro lecture, you would have gained the knowledge to understand that these varieties of perceptions are what you need in order to be a complete version of yourself. This is where you come from. Masculine energy and your feminine energy. But when you leave this idea of being or doing, and you step into the role of creating, you realize that things are being and doing always. And because things are always doing and things are always being, it is up to you to create how to use this. But then further on, you need to say which version of you is deciding how this thing should be used. And now you start to realize that no matter what, you can't escape one of these 2 points of views. So the idea is, which parent is talking to the kid about their grades? Which parent is talking to the kid about their behavior? Which parent is talking to the kid about, their eating habits? Whatever. What happens is, when you have this external environment and you have a certain aura or boundary to you, you got to realize that you need another layer within you upon the things external.
Coinbase is the most trusted crypto platform. Over 100 million users.
Once you understand the external boundary, as if it was a plant cell, the external boundary to a plant cell will be water. Once you can understand that things can flow inside of you, you would want to create a filter for that water in order to keep yourself safe, right? So the idea is, how can I maintain balance within myself? How can I allow myself to grow and still maintain this creative aspect of change and stability, aka no change, which is something else called application? How do I keep myself when I'm being forced to change as a self, when I am a self made of nothing but changes? I gotta step into my dad-like energy or my mom-like energy. I gotta act like my granny or my granddad. I gotta decide on which part of me needs to be applied. What type of energy is needed? So in the real world, we would call this energy such as radiant energy. That's energy like sunlight. Sunlight, that's an energy that comes at you. It's moving, right? And then you get into energies that can be like what we call a vibration. What is vibrational energy? Audio. That's why microphones like this one is kind of rounded. So, again, it's little things like this that will allow us to start to understand. How can I create something? Oh, well, I've been using these highlighters. And in these highlighters, I made a highlighter. It has curves and whatnot, but the highlighter does one thing. It's to do what? Put this color on this paper. This highlighter has the same job, but it's going to put this color on this paper. Same exact thing, but I had to realize there's a new thing. What was new? I got the highlighter, I got the color. How will I know the difference? How was they expressing the creation? Oh, in this creation we call it yellow, and in this creation it's called like peach or some shit, or pink, I don't know. But either way it go, no matter which highlighter you use, you got to realize that they have a boundary. And in the case of these two highlighters, the boundaries are the differences in colors. One is light, one is darker. That's it. So your energies, feminine and masculine, sometimes come off as lighter, sometimes come off as darker. But they are still you, and they're still radiating. There's mechanical energy. There's chemical energy. If I put some salt on my steak with some butter, those chemicals come together. Or if we baste it, is what we say. These things taste better for some, holds in juices for others. If I was to take this contour and this fucking eyeliner, would I be able to create a new look that sits well for me? I don't know. If I take this dye color and that hair dye color, and then we put a little bit of this fucking shampoo on there, will we get the volume that we're looking for? I don't know. I just know that's chemistry. These are chemicals, chemical energy. Then there's the most important, which is the heat energy. That's not radiant energy. Radiant energy moves. Heat energy, it's more feminine, oscillates like your heater, and it exudes. Then it radiates. But the heat in of itself, things move the heat. Transfer the heat. I don't want this it's too hot. Get away from me. It jumps round and round, place to place. So, to not make this too long, the whole point is for you to understand that in order for you to see yourself, you gotta start to put more value into the things that the world has tried to teach and is constantly trying to teach you at this given moment. Do the things right now to help you understand the things that you need for yourself by first realizing which part of you needs what. Is it the masculine side or the feminine? Is it my mama energy or my daddy energy? Is it the energy that's randomized and I can't really put a finger on it? Or is it the shit that I know and I know how and the pattern to growth? Which version of you needs the help? That's your lesson. That's your homework. So, Mr. Renew, and we just went through a little micro lesson on some Reed Spark Soul inspiration, I guess, but we'll figure it out as it go. Go ahead and review this shit. Go apply this shit. And tell me what you got as an outcome. Put it in the comments. Alright, I'm out. Yeah.